The penalty for an act of espionage can vary widely depending on the country, the severity of the espionage, the information involved, and the specific laws of that jurisdiction. Espionage generally refers to the act of spying or obtaining sensitive or classified information without authorization, typically for the benefit of a foreign government or entity. Explore the legal consequences of espionage in this video as we delve into the varying penalties for acts of unauthorized information acquisition, shedding light on the complexities of national security and international law. When hearing the word espionage, one might picture an old-fashioned spy or a 21st century hacker. In actuality, the Espionage Act was originally passed by Congress in an effort to address opposition to the United States' role in the World War I, per the New York Times. The modern application of the act in today's court of law has been used to charge or prosecute whistleblowers that leak classified data. Think Edward Snowden, Reality Winner, and Chelsea Manning. Under 18 U.S. Code Section 794, the information may be obtained from virtually any source, including but not limited to documents obtained legally or illegally, people, visits to docks or research labs or other locations, blueprints, and photographs. You can also be charged with this offense if you're grossly negligent and lose information, allow it to be removed from its proper place, or fail to report the illegal removal of any information that could hurt the military or aid the enemy. Code Section 795 makes it illegal to make drawings, take photographs, make sketches, or have or develop other visual representations of equipment designated by the President as requiring protection from public knowledge. You must have permission from a commanding officer to take pictures of any vessels or equipment once the equipment has been declared to require protection from general dissemination of information. Using an aircraft to photograph defense installations, or publishing or selling photographs. These behaviors are illegal under Code Section 795 and Code Section 796. Code Section 798 prohibits the intentional and willful sharing of classified information in any manner that is of interest to foreign governments or when sharing could be detrimental to U.S. interests. In many countries, espionage is considered a serious crime and is often subject to significant penalties, including imprisonment and fine. Penalties can range from a few years in prison for less severe cases to life imprisonment or even the death penalty in extreme cases. Additionally, individuals convicted of espionage may also face civil penalties, loss of certain rights, and damage to their reputation. Many of the most high-profile prosecutions under the Espionage Act have been for spies or people who have leaked information, including Daniel Ellsberg, who leaked the Pentagon Papers and initially faced a potential 115-year sentence before the charges against him were dropped, Edward Snowden, who leaked information about government surveillance, Chelsea Manning, who leaked military information to WikiLeaks, and Reality Winner, who was sentenced to 5 years in prison after leaking government information on Russian hacking. Before we move on, support us by hitting subscribe and the bell icon to get notified when we post new videos. Now, let's get back to our topic. People have also been charged for willfully retaining national defense information, including Kendra Kingsbury, Harold Manning III, Kenneth Wayne Ford, Weldon Marshall, Najia Huang Fo, Amel Hadi Yassin, Sarah Geldin, and James Hitzelberger, who were all government employees or contractors who were charged after government documents were found in their personal possession without authorization. In 1950, Julius Rosenberg, a U.S. Army engineer, was arrested for suspicion of espionage. The arrest of Ethel Rosenberg, Julius Rosenberg's wife, followed several weeks later. In 1951, the two were accused of divulging secrets regarding the atomic bomb to the Soviet Union via a spy ring. That same year, the couple was found guilty of conspiracy to commit espionage and sentenced to death. Although they vehemently maintained their innocence, the Rosenbergs were ultimately executed by method of electric chair at New York's Sing Sing prison in 1953. In his statement refusing to grant clemency to the Rosenbergs, then-President Dwight D. Eisenhower said, per Politico, "The nature of the crime for which they have been found guilty and sentenced far exceeds that of the taking of the life of another citizen. It involves the deliberate betrayal of the entire nation and could very well result in the death of many, many thousands of innocent citizens." Special Counsel Jack Smith of the Department of Justice filed charges against Donald Trump after the FBI searched the Florida resort where the former president lived in August 2022. The search located about 13,000 government records, about 100 of which were marked as secret or top secret. The prosecutors say the former president improperly retained 337 classified records. Trump rejected the claim, arguing that he declassified the records in question and that his broad presidential powers gave him the authority to disclose or declassify materials. Neither Trump nor his attorneys have provided any evidence to suggest that the said documents were ever declassified. Prosecutors have charged Trump with violating a section in the Espionage Act that applies to someone who has unauthorized possession of national defense information. To obtain a conviction against the former president, the government will need to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he willfully retained the material and failed to turn it over to the government. The government is likely to put all the evidence of the steps it took to get the records returned. This includes a year-long effort by the U.S. National Archives and Records Administration, which repeatedly reached out to Trump through his attorneys to request that he return missing records. The government will also present evidence from Trump's own attorney. The indictment alleges that the former president tried to get his own attorney to lie to the government about the existence of the records. Some countries have international treaties or agreements that govern espionage-related matters. These agreements can influence how espionage cases are handled and the potential penalties imposed. Courts often consider factors such as intent, previous criminal history, cooperation with authorities, and whether the espionage was conducted for ideological, political, financial, or personal reasons. These factors can influence the severity of the penalty. Penalties may not only apply to the actual act of espionage, but also to the mishandling or unauthorized disclosure of classified information, which is often related to national security. In some cases, individuals who engage in actions that might be considered espionage could argue that they were acting as whistleblowers to expose wrongdoing or illegal activities. Some legal systems have provisions that take this into account. Some countries have laws that allow them to prosecute espionage cases even if the espionage activities occurred outside their territory. Cyber espionage involves hacking into computer systems to steal sensitive information, disrupt operations, or conduct covert surveillance. State-sponsored cyber attacks have become a significant concern in international relations. The 21st century has seen an increased focus on counterterrorism intelligence due to the rise of global terrorism threats. Intelligence agencies collaborate internationally to share information and prevent attacks. Economic espionage has become a prominent issue, with countries engaging in industrial espionage to gain a competitive edge in areas such as technology, trade, and business secrets. Espionage remains a cornerstone of diplomatic relations. Diplomats often engage in intelligence gathering as part of their roles, and espionage activities continue to influence international negotiations and agreements. The practice of espionage raises complex ethical and legal questions. Balancing the need for national security with individual rights and privacy is an ongoing challenge. Espionage activities are governed by both domestic and international laws. The United Nations Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations outlines certain privileges and immunities for diplomats, but these conventions can be tested in the face of espionage allegations. As technology continues to advance, the methods of espionage are likely to evolve. Artificial intelligence, big data analysis, and other technological tools may play a more prominent role in intelligence gathering. The increasing interconnectedness of the world may lead to a greater emphasis on international cooperation and intelligence sharing to combat common threats like terrorism and cybercrime. Concerns about privacy and individual rights in the digital age are likely to influence discussions about the boundaries of government surveillance and espionage. So that's it. Please like, share, and comment your thoughts below if you liked this video. Remember to subscribe to see our next video. Stay safe and we will be back soon with another video.